This is I Rock with Rockstars, hosted by Ryan from iRock 93.5.
I Rock 93.5, Ryan here with you, and I told you that even if it killed me, no pun intended on that, I was going to make this happen someday. And Jacoby's in town, and here he is, Jacoby Shaddix. What is up, my man?
What's up, Ryan? I'm doing good, man. It's finally good to be popping in here. I've been driving by this place for a few years now, and I was like, I'll probably get in there sometime. And then you would hit my radio guy. You're like, yo, dude, I see he's in town. And he shot me a text. I was over watching my son. My son, Jagger, is a St. Ambrose Bee. He's playing on the lacrosse team, and watched him play. I watched a game yesterday, watched a game today. Got the text while I was watching the game, and I hit up Curb. I'm like, yeah, dude, I'm going. Let him know I'm pulling up. But yeah, I watched the game today. Wasn't so good. We lost. But it's all right. You know, sometimes you got to take a whooping.
Next one, right?
Yeah.
Always the next one. Yeah.
That's right. Losing builds character.
You come here a decent amount to obviously just visit him and go to the games and stuff like that. I mean, I don't want to say it's like, you know, you're like spotting a unicorn, because I'll see the pictures and people will send me the text, like, dude, I just saw him at Target. Dude, I just saw him at this place.
Yep.
But I mean, you still get that a decent amount here, don't you?
Absolutely. Yeah. I was just in Dick's Sporting Goods the other day, and they're like, are you Jacoby? And I'm like, yeah, what's up? I'll be your Jacoby. Yes, I am Jacoby.
Yes.
Yeah, so I do get it quite a bit here, but it's cool, man. I got love for these cities here, Quad Cities, and, you know, coming here the last few years and just kind of, it's trippy because we were talking with a friend. She works down at Silver Key Tattoo, my friend Doozer, and we were talking last night, and she was like, oh, yeah, I got a new place. I'm living over by blah, blah, blah. And my wife's like, oh, yeah, I know that street. And so now we're like, we've been around here for a few years, so I'm starting to know the streets and like restaurants and different spots we go to, and yeah.
Question is, I guess you've been in the Quad Cities long enough, you come around. What's something that you really love when you get to come to town, and then something that, like, man, I hate it, this part, I want to go back home and
okay. So what I love, I usually fly into Chicago, right? So I fly into Chicago, I get myself some like nuts on Clark, you know, that like, you know, the cheddar frickin', and then I do the drive. And then I get here, and it's usually there's a joint called La Finca that I hit. Azteca, another restaurant in town we love. Their birria tacos are off the freaking chain. We just discovered a new one called El Compita. El Compita. That's a banger. Good Mexican food in your town for sure. Yeah. My friend Doozer over at Silver Key Tattoo, I'll pop in and go see her. I've gotten multiple tattoos. These tattoos I've gotten on my face here. Doozer did those. She's tattooed my son. She tattooed my wife. Tattooed my son's girlfriend. You know, like it's a spot, you know, and I don't know. I was telling my wife earlier, I was like, you know what I like about coming to Davenport? It's not like I feel like I disappear here, but it's like, it's just it's just chill. And I can plug into that very much so. Like, I'm into that, especially when I live this like wild, busy lifestyle. Coming back here where it's just low-key, chilled out spot. I love Red Band Coffee. That's another. I'm all propping out these businesses. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You know that little sausage sandwich over there, dude? Yeah. That's something I look forward to. Yep. Oh, yeah, that thing is banging.
You're getting some free sandwiches from those guys.
Oh, it's all right, dude. I like to support local businesses, and it's a lot of like, you know, local-owned places that I enjoy, you know. And I do take my kids over to the Texas Roadhouse. Yeah, I'm all, dude, boys, you want to go to the Chode House? They're like, yeah. I'm like, oh man, I can't wait to get some of that Chode mouth. It's so good. I mean, Roadhouse. Yeah.
It's the buns. I mean, it's the buns.
I'm telling you, you know, I will like straight up smash those things and get a to-go box of those little buns. And the honey butter. Yeah, I'm like, I'll neck that stuff down. There's another joint we like to go to called Piatti's, good little Italian restaurant. You know, I love to support the bees, so that's a big deal for us. And now, I mean, there's not really anything bad I can say about it. I mean, maybe you guys flood every once in a while. I know that flood happened a couple years ago down on the main drag.
Well, I guess you've been here long enough. You got to be kind of used to the weather now.
Yeah, no, I was going to say the weather. I'm like, I just know I layer up. I was wearing my long johns like 10 minutes ago. I'm like, all right, I'm taking my long johns off. I'm layered up. You know, it was like.
You're lucky you're here this week. Last week it was negative 30.
Yeah, it was gnarly.
It's a heat wave right now.
Yeah, it was. We lucked out though, because like on our way here, they were like, the lacrosse games are canceled. And I was just like, come on, you know, because we fly out here to see the boys play. We moved them they were living off on 15th over there. They were living over there, and then we found a new place for them to live, so we had to move them as well. So They rescheduled the games to yesterday and today, so we got to see the games. It wasn't too cold, which I was stoked. It's about to warm up here in a couple of days. So, I mean, it's warm now. I went for a run yesterday. I was like, oh, this is glorious. And I'll tell you another thing I love about the city: a lot of runners, a lot of people. The trails, like when it's sunny out here or like 40 degrees, people are in their shorts and tank tops outside running, and I'm like, that's my style.
Are you coming back in July for the Bics?
My son's roommate, his father runs it every year. And so I wanted to make it last year, but I wasn't able to. And so at some point, for sure, I will come for the Bics because I know that's a big deal.
We were always set up out front with beers for people running.
Oh, there we go.
And the donuts and the breakfast pizza.
Oh, man. I'll have to have a donut and some pizza. I don't drink no more. I actually just celebrated 13 years free from alcohol. Yeah, so that was a beast for me, but I had to say no. Finally.
Some donuts and pizza then. That's what you're saying?
I love some donuts.
Gotta get those carbs.
That's right. Carb up for the run. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, that's what we tell ourselves as well when we're eating the donuts. Let's it's for the run that day.
Yeah, dude. Plus, winter coat, dude. You know what I'm saying? It's good for you.
So I've always wondered this. Was there a reason that your boys picked Ambrose?
Oh, hold on. Let me tell you one thing I don't like about Davenport. There's this one crackhead dude that trolls down.
One?
Well, this one in particular, he's mouth breathing. He looked like a zombie, dude, straight up. And I've seen him around a few times over, dude. And he came up and he was banging on the door of the house, of my son's house, in the middle of the night. And I think he's so fried out of his mind that it's kind of sad. It's honestly kind of sad, but it's I'm like, dude, he's trying to use this. He's like, can I use your phone? I'm like, no, you cannot come in the house at 3 a.m. and use the phone, dude. Beat it. And never saw him again. But yeah, I mean, hey, dude, so every city's got its crackheads, dude.
I mean, your real home is L.A., right?
I'm from actually Northern California. I never lived in L.A. I go down there and make records. I'll go live there for a month or two at a time. But never wanted to make that move down to L.A. I mean, Sacramento, it's a big city, but it's not like L.A. It's we got maybe 500,000 people versus L.A.'s got millions. And so I'm more comfortable in a small town kind of vibe. It's like I said, when I come here,
I'm
more
crackheads in the Quad Cities.
Hey, you know what I'm saying, dude? Well, I only met one of them.
Let's just leave it at that.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I could sit here and talk Quad Cities with you for another hour, but we should probably talk a little bit about music, right?
Oh, it's cool. Yeah, I mean, I'm down for the Quad Cities. Let's talk more Quad Cities. What we got?
Okay, let's go.
I'll tell you why my son came here.
Okay.
So he was getting recruited for lacrosse, and there was a few schools. There was one in Utah. There was one in New York's outside. I think it was Syracuse, New York. And there was another one in Nevada, and then this one. And so we went and toured the schools. And my older son, Mikhail, was we just came and toured the school. And he was like, I just feel like this is home for some weird reason. I'm like, Iowa, for real? He's like, yeah, there's something about it. I like it, Dad. And so we just went with that, and we followed his decision on it because he's a young man chasing his dream. And it's been a great one. It's been he had a great 4 years here, and I've enjoyed myself. I've made friends here. You know what I mean? We've really found a good circle of people here, and my boys got a crew of dudes that he goes to school with that are great buddies. One of his buddies got 563 Vintage right down the street from you guys. Yes. That's Willie. I know Willie for years. He's a great kid, or great young man. And an entrepreneur, and he was just Mikhail's buddy from school, and he's doing a business here, and I'll pop in there every once in a while, get my vintage tees from him.
And we're getting some good shows.
You are, I'm noticing.
So
for
he
real.
Still gets to go to good shows.
Oh, dude, he was, I was telling you, he's at the Wage War Nothing More show, at the Nothing More Zero show, at the Bad Wolves POD show. And so, yeah, we get our fair share of shows, and then we'll go hit and go watch the Storm. We were going to go watch the Storm the other night, but wasn't able to catch the game because we were busy moving.
Yeah, I mean, I see you at the Storm game. I see all those. So you're taking in the full city.
Come on now, dude.
Roll in, go to the games, roll out. You're checking it all out.
I'm into it, dude. I'm embedded. I'm kind of like a Iowan-ish, Iowa
that's
adjacent.
Good and bad. So
that's cool though, dude. Hey, dude, California's got its good and bads too. You know what I'm saying? So
people sometimes that live here will talk crap about it. I'm like, you know what? You can find the good. You can find the bad.
Yeah.
It just depends on your mindset.
Absolutely.
I've lived in Houston and Dallas and all over the country.
Yep.
I found the good spots. I found the bad spots.
Yep.
just
Absolutely.
where you want to roll to.
I think you nailed it on the head, man. It's like that's just a way of life, really. It's like we got a choice, right? When we wake up in the morning, like, do we want to look for the good, or are we trying to just, are you an optimist or a pessimist? And it's like I lean regularly towards optimist. That's just kind of like, I could do it. I can find a way. That's the kind of person I am. That's how I attack life. That's how I get after, stepping up and being just a human being on this planet, also being a father and a husband and a friend and a musician and a rock star. I got that can-do attitude, you know what I mean?
And I think that, for me personally, at least, that's a lot why your music resonates with so many people.
Yeah.
People who may be a little bit more pessimistic need somebody to be the opposite, to have the optimism for them when they can't do it for themselves.
Yeah, sometimes
and you guys have done so much for so many people in that way.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm grateful for that, to be able to put that into the music. And everybody suffers the slings and arrows of life, right? And as they come at you, it's like, how do you respond to those? And it's like, I've been knocked down time over time at the time a lot in my life from youth, as a young kid. And it was like, I just get back up. I just keep getting back up. Anybody out there listening, it's like, if you're struggling, it's like, you just got to get back up. That's all. It's like one foot in front of the other, even if it's just an inch at a time. And it might feel overwhelming and life can feel like the weight of the world is just crushing, but it's like just one little inch at a time, which then turns into a step, which then turns into a mile, which then turns into the journey, and it's a journey worth living, man. Cause I've got friends that have died by suicide and or died by overdose. And it's like, they succumb to the darkness, and it's like, there's and really in this world, I mean, that's why we've done our work with the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention for the last few years. It's like people are struggling right now, and we want to let people know there's help, and that also it's like there's hope. Like I'm a testament of it. I've had my dark moments where I had a brush with that, and I realized that I didn't want to make a permanent decision to a temporary problem. Although sometimes when you're in that dark struggle, your mind's not working right, and so I think that if we talk about these things and understand the warning signs, we can help the people around us, and I will encourage people as well, you can look to music for strength, and you can look to a rock star, right, for strength, but it's also you can look within, you can look around you. There's people around you that are willing to help. It's that sometimes when the phone feels like 1,000 pounds and you don't want to pick it up, muster it up and pick up the damn phone and get over yourself and make the call and go, yo, I need help. I need help.
That's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Being able to say that out loud to yourself.
Oh yeah.
Is even harder, I think, than saying it to someone else.
Yeah.
Being, that first step is saying it to yourself. And that's where, for you, I mean, the, 25 years, all the songs, all the hits, Leave a Light On, that one, you could just, I could just tell by listening, but then by what you were doing around it, I'm like, this one's got an extra special something for you, doesn't it?
Absolutely. It's, I've had, like I said earlier, multiple friends die by suicide, family members. So it touches home. It's like we were in the studio talking about this, and everybody in the room knows somebody directly, right? And it's like, this has got to end. This has got to stop being an option. This has got to, this has got to change. And so we're in the thick of a mental health crisis. But there's hope and there's help, and too, sometimes it's like, for me, I'll notice when I'm starting to get off the rails and I'm getting dark and negative and pissy and angry, and I'm waking up, a few days extra in that dark space. I'm like, I gotta take accountability on my stuff as well. Cause sometimes it's the reason I'm waking up in that dark, negative, pissy mood is all my fault. It's not always I'm the victim. It's like, well, what am I doing? What's my part in this? And so sometimes it's like, all right, what type of information am I allowing into my mind? How much internet and scrolling am I doing? What type of food am I putting in my body? How much sugar am I eating? The media that I'm allowing into my mind, how much of that, what is it? And so, because that's all programming in a way, and so I have to deprogram. And another thing for me is physical fitness is in other countries, they prescribe it as an antidote for anxiety and depression.
Right.
Yo, people, just go for a walk outside, like get out of your bed and go for a walk. That could be just the very beginnings. Go with a friend, go for a walk. It sounds goofy, right? But it's like, those are the things that I like check myself on and go, okay, cool. I need to get back outside. I need to call people back. I need to get out of isolation. I need to eat clean. I need to go and, get out of the way of myself and go look out for somebody else, check in on somebody else, get out of my own way.
Especially in the Midwest and the Quad Cities in wintertime, when it's so cold outside and you're stuck inside and stuck in your own head. And that's why you'll see when it's 30 degrees, people are outside in shorts and tank tops running just to get out into the sunshine.
Yeah, you got to get out of it when you can. And that's a thing, like, that's real, that like winter gloom. It's like, that's a tough one. Me being Californian, I don't truly understand that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I truly don't. Like, my sons have been checked in with me like, Dad, I've been stuck in this damn house for like 6 weeks. I'm like, I got to get out. I'm like, dude, find a way, man. Luckily, they got sport. You go up to the Ambrose Dome and, get after it. But
this is the time of year, too, where people, they see just a hint of sun and the temperature gets into the 40s. Like you said, shorts will be on and they'll be like, let's go. It's barbecue time.
That's right. You're an Iowan if you're outside in 40 degrees in shorts and tank top, dude. I got a little Iowan in me. Come on.
You do. Well, and, it was interesting. Going back to one thing you said there about, not looking to a rock star, looking to yourself kind of thing. And we look around this studio and you see a lot of your peers on the wall here with all these posters. A lot of them have lived that rock star life and they lived it too hard.
Oh, yeah.
And you talk about that and it's like you were able to live that life, but also go, hold on.
Yeah.
I've got a family. I've got my life. I got everything else I got to do. I got to make a change.
Yep.
And that's hard to do for people to make that change.
Yeah, I did. I gave my first attempt in 2004. Try to get sober, and started going to meetings of recovery, getting some men around me that understood the struggle and opening up to them about that. And it took me a long time. It took me 8 years to finally like quit. I get like a year sober, then I'd fall off the wagon. Then 6 weeks, and I'd fall off the wagon. Then it was repeat. And then I realized like it was a spiritual sickness I had. And that was, I came to like my rock bottom, like emotionally, physically, and spiritually. And I think that when I came to like this, like in a way, like the spiritual rock bottom, I'm like, I just was in the foxhole praying to God. I'm like, God, if you hear me, like, just help me, like relieve me of this obsession. Like I am so broken and I keep trying to fix myself and I can't. And like my prayers straight up were answered on the real, And so for me, it's like my spirit life and my relationship with God is like, that's the most important thing. Before my family, before my music, before anything, I put that first, straight up. It's just, that's the path I walk, and it's a hard one because I see people struggle, and not to say that my life is perfect because of that. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't no holier than thou kind of guy. That's not my vibe. But it's like I got a spiritual sickness, so I look for a spiritual solution.
Right. You found your solution.
Absolutely.
So, Jacoby, I know you got a long drive ahead of you.
I know, man. I got a haul, dude. Ain't nothing in between here and Omaha, right? Nothing. I mean, maybe I'll drive through Des Moines and get a zombie burger.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about.
Yes. But yeah, other than that, that's about it. So we will let you go. But again, we should probably talk, label guy would be mad if we didn't talk music for a second.
Oh, yeah. We got a banger. Are you guys playing the new one?
Of course we are.
Let's go. That's what's up.
Day one. Even if it's
sick,
it's rolling. It's awesome. It's got that old school Papa Roach vibe. But I mean, it's still new and it's got the drops. It's got everything. I mean, just where'd this one come from?
Yeah, we were writing music. This one was started about 2 years ago. The music part of it, and I heard it first from the first musical just vibe with the strings. I was like, it sounds cinematic. This sounds like this is about to be a journey we're taking the fans on. So I hit the boys up instantly. I'm like, dude, I can't wait to get in the studio on this one. Then life happens, right? And some stuff goes down. My older son went through this really traumatic breakup. Just his whole world was leveled, and I watched my son just like crumble. And that was a tough one, but to also like have to go, hey man, there's some hard truths about life. And sometimes like people aren't what they show themselves as, and there's two sides to people sometimes. And you got one, and then eventually discovered that other dark side of them, and you were hurt, right? And that was like really hard for me to watch my son just fall to pieces. And it, that song was born from that like moment of going, I want to be able to help you, but also like, I also know that you kind of got to walk through the fire, and knowing that like, I'm not going to leave you. I'm here for you, but I'm also like, I'm a stand in that fire with you. And I wanted to shoulder the pain. I wish I could, but it's like sometimes we have to go through those moments in life that like you were saying earlier, it builds character. Yeah. Who are you? Can you get back up? Well, my son got back up.
It's the worst when your kids' hearts are broken. Because when your heart's broken, you can get over it.
Absolutely.
But when your kids' hearts are broken,
oh gosh,
and you can't fix it. I have an 18 and 20-year-old too, so I'd like.
Yeah, you're in the thick.
My daughter just turned 18 yesterday, and I was
oh my
bawling.
goodness, yeah, so she's an adult now.
When their hearts are broken, you're more broken because you can't fix them, and like you said, but they have to go through it.
Yep.
To be a functioning adult, basically.
Yep. So it's real. People, it's funny because people are like, yeah, dude, I like dad rock. And I'm like, this truly is dad rock. There's that, have you heard the term baddie core?
Yes.
Oh, guess what? Guess what my style is? Guess what I am? I got a genre. It's called daddy core.
Oh, God.
Perfect.
I ain't baddie core, dude. I'm daddy core.
We'll take it all.
Yep. It's first time you heard it right here in Iowa, dude. Daddy core. Deal with it. Let's go.
Let's go. And you're about to go on tour as well. You guys Rise Against. I mean, I know you got here in the States, overseas.
Yep.
I mean, that's going to be
It's going to be epic, man. I'm so pumped up about it. We just finished up Europe. We took Wage War out to Europe. Had nearly an entire sold out European tour. The shows were off the chain. The best, honestly, the best tour of our career. Straight up. Attendance wise, everything. It was just amazing. The reviews were great. It was all that stuff, like all the things. Oh, I don't care about reviews, but when you get a good one, man, that's nice.
I know you got some Davenport peeps in Amsterdam.
That's right.
They took IROC with them.
That's right. Oh, really?
Yeah, they took some photos in Amsterdam.
Oh, that's sick. Yeah, I know him very well. Jeff Barnes. Jeff makes great salsa.
I call her the cool Becky because
Becky's cool.
Becky, but she's way cooler than me.
That's right.
We'll finish it with this, and since we're talking about tour, because I know everyone wants to know, when is Papa Roach going to play at the Quad Cities?
Dude, I keep telling my agent, what's the Vibrant or
Vibrant is the arena, and then the other one that I know that has been rumored and floated about is our big Mississippi Valley Fair as well.
Oh, I know that you are correct. I know the promoters reached out a couple times, so that might be a possibility. I'll tell you that. I would love to rip this arena though at some point, man. I've seen the Storm in it a couple times. I saw my son graduate in it, and I'm like, I need to perform here.
I saw you guys there in 2001.
Heck
I was still in high school.
Who were we with?
Union Underground.
Oh my word! What's up?
Mudvayne and Slipknot, I think. Was
that's
Off
right.
Fest day off.
Off Fest.
Yes.
That's right. That's right.
That was such a good show.
That's sick. Yeah, we'll definitely. You will see us here because I mean, come on, man. It's been too long. It's been way too long.
And you're here, and easy for the boy just to
I got my guest list will be huge.
It will.
It'll be half of Ambrose will be at the show. Let's go.
Right, at the Vineyards. I need this entire section.
Yeah,
section
just one section.
Leave that one for Jacoby.
That's right.
Awesome, man. Again, I know you got to roll, so I appreciate you coming on in here, spending some time with us.
Thanks for having me.
Door is always open. And Quad Cities, when you see him, be cool. If he's hanging out with his family,
everybody's been cool,
all
man.
Right.
I ain't got no disrespect here, not even once, man.
Beautiful.
And if somebody did it, you just slid off my duck back. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I love to hear. Jacoby, appreciate you coming in, man.
Absolutely.